God's chosen ones. God will not let you sleep until you see this today. Why, among the millions sleeping peacefully tonight? Are you awake? Why, when your body screams for rest, does your spirit refuse to surrender? Why, at this exact moment, did this video find you in the darkness? Chosen one, listen to me. Your sleeplessness tonight is not insomnia. It's divine intervention. You didn't stumble upon this video. You were summoned here by forces beyond your understanding. Right now, as you sit in the darkness, something ancient is stirring, something that has been waiting for this moment, for this night, for you. If you are awake at 2 a.m., reading these words, there is a reason. If your heart is racing and you can't explain why, there is a reason. If every fiber of your being is telling you, this message is meant for me, you are right. The Almighty doesn't disturb your sleep for ordinary purposes. He doesn't keep His chosen ones awake for small things. Tonight, He's calling you because tomorrow isn't soon enough. 73 years ago, Sarah Wilson from Brooklyn couldn't sleep, just like you, right now. She found a message just like this one. The next morning, she changed her family's destiny forever, but that's just the beginning. You see, when God's chosen ones can't sleep, it means the heavens are about to move. It means breakthrough is closer than your next heartbeat. It means your assignment is awakening. Right now, you have two choices: scroll away and spend another restless night, wondering what if, or stay awake and discover why the Most High has chosen this night to speak directly to your soul. If you feel that electric current running through your spirit, if you know this moment was orchestrated just for you, type these words in the comments. Right now, I am still awake for my mission. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Your sleeplessness is heaven's alarm clock, and what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will explain why you were chosen, why you can't sleep, and why tomorrow morning everything changes. Chosen one, your awakening starts now. Comment below, I am still awake for my mission, and join the movement of awakened souls who refuse to sleep through their calling. Do you feel it right now? That restless stirring in your chest? That shortness of breath when you try to close your eyes? That pounding heartbeat that echoes like thunder in the silence of 3 a.m.? Dear one, you've been calling it insomnia. You've been calling it anxiety. You've been reaching for sleep aids, counting sheep, trying everything to quiet that relentless stirring within. But what if I told you you've been treating the symptom while missing the sacred invitation? You think you're anxious, but no, it's your soul that's trembling, not with fear, but with anticipation. You think it's stress from the bills, the doctor visits, the loneliness, but it's not stress, chosen one. It's a divine call, awakening you from spiritual forgetfulness. Listen to your body right now. That tightness in your chest, that's not panic, that's recognition. Your spirit recognizing its creator's voice. In 1 Kings in 19:12, when God spoke to Elijah, it wasn't in the earthquake, it wasn't in the fire, it was in a gentle whisper. But even that whisper was so powerful, it made Elijah cover his face. That whisper is what's keeping you awake tonight. Not caffeine, not worry. God's gentle whisper, calling your name in the darkness. For 73 years, Martha from Queens couldn't understand. Every night, 2:47 a.m., wide awake, doctors said, "Take these pills." Family said, "You worry too much." But Martha knew something deeper was stirring. One night, instead of fighting the sleeplessness, she whispered, Lord, what are you trying to tell me? And in that moment, everything changed. The restlessness became clarity. The anxiety became anticipation. The insomnia became invitation. You see, dear one, when the Almighty wants you to hear clearly, He doesn't wait for you to fall asleep. He wakes you up with that uneasy breath in your chest. Here's what the medical world won't tell you. Here's what the sleep clinics can't diagnose. Your sleeplessness isn't a disorder, it's an appointment. God has been trying to reach you for months, maybe years, through whispered prayers you thought went unheard, through that coincidental parking spot right in front of the church, through that random phone call from an old friend mentioning faith. But you were too busy sleeping through His gentle nudges. So now He's turned up the volume, not with lightning, not with thunder, but with holy restlessness. Psalm 127:2 says, He grants sleep to those He loves. But what about when He withholds sleep? What about when He keeps His beloved awake? Because sometimes love means keeping you conscious. Love means refusing to let you sleep through your breakthrough. Love means stirring your spirit until you remember who you really are. Right now, as I speak these words, your heart is probably racing faster. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Your body is responding to truth. Your spirit is saying, yes, finally, someone understands. So stop fighting the sleeplessness. Stop medicating the restlessness. Stop treating as a problem what God intended as a solution. Instead, lean into it. Welcome it. That insomnia is an invitation from the sky. That restlessness is heaven's way of getting your attention. That pounding heart is the sound of destiny knocking. If it's not fatigue, keeping you awake, if it's not anxiety, stirring your spirit, then what? Is it its assignment, its calling, it's the Most High refusing to let you sleep through the most important chapter of your life? You are being called right now, in this moment, and the question isn't whether you'll answer. The question is, will you nod to that call? Because, chosen one, once you understand why you can't sleep, once you recognize this sacred restlessness for what it truly is, everything about your midnight hours will change. But first, you need to know what happens when you finally stop running from the sleeplessness and start running toward the one who's been calling your name all along. The question now becomes not how to sleep, but how to stay awake long enough to receive what heaven has been trying to deliver. Listen to me, chosen one, right now, at this very moment, while millions sleep soundly in their beds across America. You are awake, and that is no accident. Tonight, a door is opening in the spiritual realm, a threshold that appears only once, maybe twice, in a lifetime. But here's what's breaking my heart. This door, this sacred opening, it's not for everyone. It's only for those who are awake. You see, staying awake in the middle of the night, when your body is screaming for rest, when every logical part of your mind says, go to bed, that's not insomnia, dear one. That's divine frequency. That's heaven's alarm system, alerting you that you belong to the frequency of change. If you continue to sleep, if you ignore this stirring, if you choose comfort over calling, you will not see how tomorrow will be radically different from today. You will miss the season of blessing, that's about to break open over your life. Scripture tells us in Isaiah 55:11, "My word that goes out from my mouth will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." God's word is being released tonight. Not next week, not when you're ready, tonight. But here's the devastating truth that most believers never understand. God's blessings. Don't wait for convenient timing, divine opportunity. Don't knock twice. Breakthrough moments. Don't reschedule for your comfort. You know what happened to the 5 foolish virgins in Matthew 25. They slept when they should have been watching. They missed the bridegroom's arrival because they chose temporary comfort over eternal preparation. And when they finally woke up, the door was shut. I'm telling you, with every fiber of prophetic urgency in my spirit, to sleep now is to choose the closed door. To sleep now is to miss the season of blessing, but to stay awake, to embrace this holy discomfort, to lean into this divine restlessness. To stay awake is to choose change. Aha, breakthrough, revelation. To sleep now is to miss the season of blessing. To stay awake is to choose change. Right now, as you sit there, heart racing, spirit stirring, mind questioning, the Holy Spirit is downloading divine strategies into your consciousness. Angels are positioning themselves around your circumstances. Heaven's warehouses are preparing to release what belongs to you. But here's what's going to crush your spirit if you're not careful. Tomorrow morning, when the sun rises and this moment passes, you'll go back to the same routine, the same limitations, the same frustrations, and you'll spend months, maybe years, wondering, what if I had stayed awake that night? What if I had pushed through the tiredness? What if I had listened to that stirring in my spirit? Beloved, the threshold is open right now. Not in an hour, not tomorrow. Right now. Ephesians 5:14 declares, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." This is your wake-up call. This is your rising moment. This is Christ preparing to shine His favor, His blessing, His breakthrough on you. But I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. How many divine moments have you slept through? How many times has God stirred your spirit and you chose the pillow over the promise? How many doors have closed while you were choosing comfort over calling? Tonight is different. Tonight, you don't get to sleep through this opening. Tonight, heaven is demanding your attention. The sacred that belongs to you is being released in the next few hours, but it requires your cooperation. It demands your wakefulness. It commands your yes. If you feel that fire burning in your chest, if you know this message was sent directly to your spirit, if you're ready to receive the sacred breakthrough that belongs to you, type these words in the comments. Right now, I am ready to receive the sacred that belongs to me. Because what I'm about to reveal next will explain exactly why you were chosen to be awake on this specific night, and how this moment will become the turning point that changes everything. The door is open, the threshold is here, but chosen one, it won't stay open forever. Listen to me. Chosen one. Right now, as you're watching this, something is happening inside your chest. You feel it. Don't you? That rapid pounding heartbeat, that sudden surge of heat washing over you, that strange tingling sensation creeping up your spine, your breathing It's getting faster. Your eyes, they're widening. Your hands, they might even be trembling. And you're thinking, what's happening to me, dear chosen one? What you're experiencing and is not anxiety. It's not stress. It's not a medical condition. What's coursing through your body right now is divine electricity, holy fire, flowing through your bloodstream, sacred energy, rewiring your spiritual circuits. Acts chapter 2, verse 2 tells us, "Suddenly a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting." That same wind, that same power, that moved on the day of Pentecost, is moving through you right now. You think that burning in your chest is just your heart racing. No, chosen one. That's the furnace of the Most High being ignited within you. Jeremiah 29 declares, "His word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones." That fire is what you're feeling. That divine inferno is why you can't sit still. That sacred blaze is why sleep has abandoned you tonight. Stop trying to calm it down. Stop reaching for anxiety medication. Stop explaining it away with psychology. What's happening to you is supernatural. Your body has become a lightning rod for heaven's power. Your nervous system is being rewired for divine frequency. Your very DNA is vibrating at the frequency of the Almighty. You want proof. When was the last time you felt this alive? At 2 in the morning. When was the last time your spirit was this alert, this aware? When was the last time you knew, without question, that something bigger than yourself was moving that heat, spreading through your chest? That's not fear. That's faith being activated. That rapid heartbeat, that's not panic. That's your spiritual pulse syncing with heaven's rhythm. Those shivers running down your arms, that chosen one is the Holy Spirit changing your spiritual voltage, upgrading your capacity to carry God's glory, expanding your ability to receive divine revelation. You don't know why you shiver. That's the spiritual energy, changing levels inside you, rising from ordinary to extraordinary, from natural to supernatural, from earthly to heavenly. Romans 8:16 confirms, "The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children." That testimony is happening in your body right now. Every cell, every nerve, every heartbeat is bearing witness. You are not having a breakdown. You're having a breakthrough. For 73 years, you've lived by human instinct, by social expectations, by doctors' diagnoses, by what your mind could understand. But tonight, God is calling you to a higher frequency, a place where you don't live by what you see, but by what He speaks, a dimension where you don't move by human logic, but by divine command. This energy flowing through you, it's not random, it's not accidental, it's purposeful. The Almighty is preparing your body to house His presence, your heart to carry His heartbeat, your mind to receive His thoughts, your spirit to move in His power. But here's what most people don't understand. This energy, this fire, this divine electricity, it doesn't come to make you comfortable. It comes to make you capable. And what God is making you capable of, what He's preparing you to receive, what He's about to download into your spirit, will shake every foundation you thought was solid. Because chosen one, this restlessness, this energy, this holy fire, it's not just preparation, it's activation. And what's being activated inside you tonight has been dormant for decades. Are you ready to discover what God has been hiding inside you all these years? Because what happens next will change everything. Chosen one, I see you there, exhausted, drained, wondering if you have anything left to give. Let me tell you something that will change how you see your weariness forever. You think you're falling apart, but what if I told you you're actually being put together? What if that bone-deep tiredness isn't your weakness showing, but your strength being born? Listen to me carefully. Every diamond was once coal, crushed under unimaginable pressure. Every butterfly was once a caterpillar, dissolved completely in the darkness of its cocoon. Every pearl was once an irritant, wrapped in layers of pain. And you, dear chosen one, you are not dying. You are being reborn. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" Right now, in your exhaustion, God is doing something new, something that has never been done in your life before. But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. Your fatigue is not evidence of failure. It's evidence of transformation. Think about it. When a woman is in labor, what does she experience? Pain, exhaustion, the feeling she cannot go on. But what's happening in those moments of agony? Life is being born. So I ask you, chosen one, what if your sleepless nights aren't punishment? What if your heavy heart isn't depression? What if your spiritual exhaustion is actually the birth pangs of your divine purpose? You see, before a snake sheds its skin, it becomes restless. It stops eating. It becomes irritable, uncomfortable, because the old skin no longer fits. That's you, right now. Your old life, your old identity, your old limitations, they no longer fit who you're becoming. And that discomfort, that restlessness, that feeling like you're coming apart at the seams, that's not breakdown, that's breakthrough. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come." But here's what they don't tell you. The passing away isn't peaceful. It's a holy disruption. You want to know why? You can't sleep at night. Because the old you is dying, and the new you is fighting to be born. You want to know why? Nothing feels the same anymore, because God is not renovating your life. He's demolishing it and building something completely new. Every energy, before it is raised, goes through a crushing stage. You are not falling, beloved. You are being kneaded, like dough, under the baker's hands, pressed, folded, worked, not to destroy you, but to make you ready for the oven of His glory. What is being born in you is not a new ego, not a better version of who you used to be. What's being born is your divine self, the self that has been sleeping through many silent years, the self that God saw before you were even formed in your mother's womb. You are tired because you are being called into a new kingdom, not because you are weak, because you are being promoted, and promotion in God's kingdom always requires transformation. But here's the urgent truth, chosen one. This transformation has an expiration date. God's seasons don't wait for us to feel ready. They move according to His divine timing. So let me ask you the question that will haunt you if you don't answer it tonight. Will you waste this sacred season wishing you felt stronger, or will you surrender to the process, trusting that your weakness is where His strength shows up best? 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Your exhaustion isn't disqualifying you, it's qualifying you, because God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. And right now, He's equipping you through the very weariness you've been fighting. But there's something else you need to understand. Something about why this transformation is happening now. Something about the specific assignment waiting for you on the other side of this exhaustion. Because what I'm about to reveal will explain why God chose this season to awaken you and why your breakthrough is closer than your next breath. Are you ready to discover what's really being born in the darkness of your weariness? Listen carefully, chosen one. What I'm about to tell you will shatter everything you thought you knew about your purpose for 70 years, maybe 80. You've been asking the wrong question. You've been asking, God, what do you want from me? When you should have been asking, God, what do you want through me? Tonight, that question gets answered. You see, there's something the enemy has been hiding from you. Something that would terrify the darkness if you truly understood it. You think you're just another believer. You think you're just trying to make it through. You think your best years are behind you. You're wrong. Moses was 80 years old when God called him to part the Red Sea. Abraham was 99 when God promised him nations. Anna was 84 when she prophesied over the Christ child. Your age is not your limitation. Your age is your qualification, because tonight God is revealing why He kept you here, why He sustained you through every trial, why He preserved you through every storm. You weren't just chosen to be blessed. You were chosen to be the blessing. Right now, in nursing homes across America, there are souls crying out in darkness. Right now, in your own family, there are children and grandchildren walking toward destruction. Right now, in your community, there are hearts desperate for hope, and God, in His infinite wisdom, has positioned you at this exact moment for this exact purpose. You think you're waiting for a door to open, but listen to me. Chosen one, you are the door. Jesus said in John 10:9, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved. But then He said in John 14:12, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. Do you understand what this means? You are His hands. You are His voice. You are His door for this generation. Every sleepless night, God has been preparing you. Every hardship has been forging you. Every loss has been positioning you. You don't walk through the door. You are the door. That restlessness in your spirit isn't random. It's the sound of destiny knocking. It's the sound of a generation crying out for someone to show them the way. Think about it. Who in your family needs breakthrough? Who in your neighborhood needs hope? Who in your church needs encouragement? They're not waiting for a miracle. They're waiting for you to become their miracle. Isaiah 61 declares, arise, shine, for your light has come. Not, your light will come. Not, your light might come. Your light has come. But here's what breaks God's heart. Too many of His chosen ones die with their light still hidden. Too many go to their graves with their doors still locked. Too many meet their Maker with the words, what if? Will that be your story, or will you rise up right now and declare, I am the door for my family. I am the door for my community. I am the door for the next generation. Every prayer you've prayed for your children, every tear you've shed for your grandchildren, every burden you've carried for others, God is saying, stop asking me to move start being my movement. You are not too old. You are not too tired. You are not too late. You are perfectly positioned for such a time as this. Tonight, your sleeplessness ends. Tonight, your purpose begins. Tonight, you stop being the one who needs saving, and you become the one who does the saving. If you feel that fire burning in your bones, if you know God is calling you to be the door, if you're ready to stop hiding and start shining, type these words in the comments. Right now, I am the door for the next generation. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone else to go first, because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly how to step into this calling and why the next 24 hours will determine whether you become the door or forever wonder what could have been. The door is you, chosen one. The question is, will you open, chosen one? Have you noticed that things that used to matter have been slipping away? That friend who suddenly stopped calling, that opportunity that vanished overnight, that financial security that crumbled without warning. You've been asking, why me, Lord? You've been wondering, what did I do wrong? But what if I told you you've been asking the wrong question? What if those losses weren't punishment? What if they were preparation? Look at your life over the past 6 months. Really look. What or who has disappeared? That toxic friendship that drained your spirit gone. That job that kept you small vanished. That relationship that made you doubt your worth ended. You thought it was bad luck. You thought it was the devil attacking. But chosen one, what if it was heaven clearing the stage? Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" God doesn't renovate with the old furniture still there. He doesn't pour new wine into old wineskins. And He doesn't elevate you to your destiny while you're still carrying yesterday's baggage. Dear one, you are not being stripped. You are being refined. What disappears is the curtain through which the true light is seen. Every loss, every ending, every door that slammed shut was heaven's way of removing what was blocking your breakthrough. That friend who betrayed you, they were a distraction from your divine assignment. That financial setback that kept you awake at night, it was redirecting you toward provision you never imagined. That health scare that shook you to your core, it was waking you up to the precious gift of today. You see, when Martha and Mary lost their brother Lazarus, they thought it was the end of the story. But Jesus said in John 11:4, "This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God." Your losses, chosen one, are not unto death. They are for the glory that's about to be revealed in you. But here's what most people never understand: heaven doesn't consult your comfort when it's preparing your calling. God doesn't ask permission to remove what's holding you back. He loves you too much to leave you where you are. Right now, someone watching this is mourning a loss, a marriage that ended after 30 years, a career that suddenly collapsed, a dream that died without explanation, and you're thinking, how can this be God's plan? How can losing everything be a blessing? Because you are not lost. You are filtered. Heaven is not taking from you. Heaven is taking you to something. Every person who walked away was clearing space for divine connections. Every door that closed was redirecting you toward the door with your name on it. Every dollar you lost was making room for abundance beyond your imagination. Jeremiah 29:11 promises, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." Chosen one. What if your greatest losses have been your greatest protections? What if heaven has been saving you from what looked good for what is good? Margaret from Queens lost her job at 67. She thought her life was over, but that loss led her to start the ministry that's now feeding hundreds of families. Robert from the Bronx lost his life savings in a scam. He was devastated, but that disaster forced him to trust God completely, and now he's debt-free for the first time in decades. Your story is being written right now, and every chapter that seemed like an ending was actually heaven turning the page. But here's what you need to understand. The clearing is almost complete. The stage is almost ready, and what heaven is preparing to bring into your life will make every loss look like the bargain of a lifetime. But there's something you need to know before you step onto that stage, something about the role heaven has been preparing you for, something that will explain why your sleepless nights are actually heaven's wake-up call. Are you ready to discover what's waiting on the other side of your losses? Because chosen one, your intermission is over. The curtain is about to rise. You've been asking yourself, haven't you, why, when I'm struggling the most, does no one come? Why, when I cry out for help, do I hear only silence? Why, when I need someone to understand, am I met with blank stares? Dear chosen one, let me tell you something that will change everything. You weren't abandoned. You were appointed. Think about it. Every night you've laid awake, wondering, God, where is my help? Where is my support team? Every morning you've faced another day, alone, carrying burdens that feel too heavy for one person. But what if I told you that your isolation wasn't punishment? What if your loneliness was actually divine strategy? Listen to these words from Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Notice, it doesn't say, the Lord will send others to fight for you. It says, He will fight for you directly, personally. You see, when God has a mission, that will shake the very foundations of hell. He doesn't assemble a committee. He doesn't form a support group. He chooses one person, one vessel, one light in the darkness, because some missions are so sacred, so powerful, so world-changing, that they can only be entrusted to a single soul. Think about Moses, standing alone before Pharaoh. No backup singers, no cheerleading squad, just him, his staff, and the Almighty. Think about David, facing Goliath in the valley. His own brothers mocked him. The king doubted him. But God had stamped that mission with David's name only. Chosen one, your mission has your name stamped on it. In heaven's filing cabinet, your assignment is marked for your eyes only. That's why no one else can see it. That's why no one else understands it. That's why when you try to explain, they look at you like you're speaking Martian, because they're not supposed to understand. They're not supposed to help. They're not supposed to carry what God gave specifically to you. Isaiah 43:2 promises, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Not when others pass through with you, but when you pass through. The mission requires solo navigation, because when you emerge victorious, when you step into your breakthrough, when the world sees what God has done, there will be no question who gets the glory. Not your family, who didn't believe. Not your friends, who couldn't see. Not your church, who said you were too much. Just you and the God who equipped you in secret. Right now, as you listen, you're thinking, but I'm so tired of doing this alone. I get it, I understand, but here's the truth. That will set you free. You were never doing it alone. You just couldn't see your invisible army. 2 Kings 6:17, Elisha prayed, "Open his eyes, Lord, so that he may see." And suddenly the servant saw hills full of horses and chariots of fire. Your help isn't absent. Your support isn't missing. It's just operating on a frequency others can't access. So the next time someone asks you, "Why are you doing this alone?" tell them, "Because I'm the only one with the key." The door to your destiny has one lock, and heaven gave the key to you. If you're ready to stop waiting for human backup, if you're ready to partner with the invisible army, if you're ready to carry what only you can carry, comment right now, "I have been chosen." Even if no one comes, I will not stop. Because chosen one, your isolation is about to end. Not because others will finally show up, but because you're about to discover the supernatural support system that's been there all along. And what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly how to activate it. Dear chosen one, right now, as you sit in the darkness of this sleepless night, there is a door standing open just 3 feet from where you are. You can't see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit knows it's there. That restless energy coursing through your veins, that unexplainable urgency pulling at your heart, that's the sound of heaven's door creaking open. But here's what most people will never understand. This door doesn't open for the casual observer. It doesn't swing wide for the Sunday-only believer. This door, this sacred passage into your divine destiny, only opens for those who believe before they see. You've been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect sign, waiting for someone to hand you a written guarantee. But tonight, I'm here to shatter that deadly lie. The door is already open. It's been open since the moment you first felt that stirring, since the first night you couldn't sleep, since the first time you whispered, "God, there has to be more." Listen to me, chosen one. Jesus said in Revelation 3:8, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." No one can shut. Not your past mistakes, not your current circumstances, not your age, not your limitations, not your fears. But here's the truth that will rock you to your core. That door isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to step forward before you feel ready. You see, faith isn't about seeing and then believing. Faith is about believing and then seeing. Hebrews 11:1 declares, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Right now, you're thinking, but what if I step forward and there's nothing there? What if I look foolish? What if I'm too old, too broken, too late? Let me tell you about Martha Williams from Detroit, 82 years old, sitting in her apartment at 3 a.m., just like you, husband gone, children distant, dreams buried. She heard these very words about stepping through an invisible door. Martha could have chosen to stay in her chair, could have dismissed this foolish talk about spiritual doors, but something in her spirit recognized truth. She whispered, "God, if there's really a door, I'm stepping through." The next morning, Martha called her estranged daughter for the first time in 15 years. That phone call led to reconciliation. That reconciliation led to family healing. That healing led to Martha becoming the prayer warrior her entire neighborhood needed. The door wasn't physical. Martha didn't see golden hinges or heavenly light. She simply stepped forward in faith, and the moment she moved, the door revealed itself. Chosen one, your door is the same. It's not made of wood and metal. It's made of courage and surrender. It's opened, not by your hands, but by your heart. Right now, as I speak these words, that door is humming with divine energy. It's waiting for your yes. Your, "I don't understand it, but I trust you." Your, "I can't see the whole staircase, but I'll take the first step. But here's what will stop you." Every single time, waiting for the feeling of readiness, demanding a blueprint before you move, insisting on guarantees before you believe. Faith doesn't work that way. The Israelites didn't see the dry ground until they stepped into the Red Sea. Peter didn't feel the solid water until he swung his leg over the boat. Your breakthrough, your healing, your restoration, it's not coming when you feel ready. It's coming when you step forward. Despite not feeling ready, the door is open, chosen one, but you must step through as if it were waiting for you, because it is waiting for you. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait for courage to find you. If your soul is vibrating as you hear these words, that is your sign. That stirring, that restlessness, that holy dissatisfaction, that is heaven's invitation right now. Before you think, before you analyze, before you doubt, type these words in the comments. I step into what God has opened for me. Because when you declare your faith, when you step forward into the invisible, that's when the door becomes visible. But choosing to step through is only the beginning. What's waiting on the other side will change everything you thought you knew about your purpose. Beloved, you think you're simply watching a YouTube video, but let me tell you what's really happening in this moment. The courts of heaven are in session. The angels are taking notes, and you, dear chosen one, are being measured. Tonight is not entertainment. Tonight is examination. Right now, as you sit in that chair, in that room, the Almighty is asking, will this one stand up? When I call, will this one respond? When I whisper, will this one act? When faith demands action. You see, God doesn't wake his chosen ones for spectator sports. He wakes them for participation. Ezekiel 33:7 declares, I have made you a watchman. Hear the word from my mouth and give them warning from me. Tonight, you are the watchman. Tonight, you are being tested. But here's what most people will never understand. This isn't a multiple choice exam. This is a faith exam, and faith, beloved, is only proven through action. James 2:17 cuts straight to your soul. Faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. So let me ask you the question that heaven is asking right now. What are you going to do with what you're hearing? Because I'll tell you a secret that will shake you to your core. 97% of the people watching this video will do nothing. They'll feel the stirring, they'll sense the calling, they'll know this message was meant for them. But when it comes time to act, they'll choose the couch over the calling. They'll choose comfort over courage. They'll choose to sleep through their assignment. But you're different, aren't you? Because if you weren't, you wouldn't still be here. If you weren't, your spirit wouldn't be on fire. Right now, if you weren't, God wouldn't have kept you awake to find this message. Listen to what happened in 1 Samuel 3:4. The Lord called Samuel, and he answered, "Here I am." Not, "Let me think about it." Not, "Maybe tomorrow." Here I am. Tonight, God is calling your name. The question is, will you answer like Samuel, or will you roll over and pretend you didn't hear? You know, there's something about this hour, something about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., when the world is silent and heaven speaks loudest. It's the hour when Moses received the burning bush. It's the hour when Jacob wrestled with the angel. It's the hour when Jesus prayed in Gethsemane. And it's the hour when you, chosen one, are being tested. But here's what terrifies the enemy. You're not just listening passively. You're feeling something stirring, something that can't be ignored, something that demands a response. And that, beloved, is exactly what heaven is waiting for. Because you see, this isn't a video. This is a spiritual courtroom. This is your moment of truth. This is heaven's way of separating the wheat from the chaff. Matthew 7:14 warns us, "Narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way, which leads to life, and there are few who find it." Tonight, you have the chance to be among the few, but it requires more than listening. It requires more than feeling. It requires action. So right now, in this sacred moment, heaven is asking, will you just watch, or will you respond? Will you stay silent, or will you declare your readiness? If the fire is burning in your spirit, if you know this message was ordained for you, if you're ready to step into what God has prepared, then don't just sit there. Respond. Type these words in the comments. Right now, I am responding to heaven's call, and tell us what you're going to do to confirm your obedience. Because, beloved, your response or your silence is being recorded in the courts of heaven. And what I'm about to reveal next about what happens to those who respond will change everything you thought you knew about God's plan for your life. The examination continues. You're sitting there in the darkness, asking the same question you've been asking for months, maybe for years. God, if you really have a plan for me, where is it? If I'm truly chosen, why do I feel so forgotten? When will you finally show me what you want me to do? I know, because I've been exactly where you are, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering if you missed your moment, wondering if at 73 or 68 or 81, it's too late. But here's the uncomfortable truth that's keeping you awake tonight. You're not waiting for God's answer. God is waiting for you to change position, not your zip code, not your address, your soul level. See, you've been standing in the same spot for decades, the same mindset, the same fears, the same, what if I'm not good enough? And from that position, you keep asking, God, show me the way. But the answer has never been where you're standing. The answer is in the steps you haven't dared to take. Remember Abraham, Genesis 12:1. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household. God didn't give him a GPS, didn't show him Google Maps. He said, "Go, and I will show you." Abraham had to move before he could see. He had to leave before he could arrive. He had to trust before he could understand. You see, you're waiting for confirmation, but heaven is waiting for demonstration. You're praying for a sign, but God is looking for surrender. That job you've been afraid to leave, even though your spirit dies a little more each day. That relationship that's been draining your soul for 15 years. That dream you buried because someone told you. People your age don't start over. Those aren't just circumstances. Those are the very things standing between you and your divine assignment. Here's what nobody tells you. The reason you can't hear God clearly isn't because he's not speaking. It's because your current position creates interference. Fear creates static. Comfort zones muffle his voice. Hesitation blocks heaven's frequency. Moses was 80 years old when God called him at the burning bush. 80. But do you know what Moses had to do? Before he could lead Israel, he had to put down the shepherd's staff. He had to leave the familiar mountains. He had to face the very Pharaoh he'd been running from for 40 years. What is your Pharaoh? What is that one thing you've been avoiding, running from, making excuses about? Because here's the truth that's going to shake you. If you keep asking without taking a step, the answer will always be on the other side of belief. God doesn't reveal the entire staircase. He illuminates the next step, but you have to take it to see the next one. Right now, at this very moment, heaven is holding its breath, waiting to see if you'll finally move. That phone call you've been putting off for 6 months, that apology you need to make, that business idea that keeps you up at night, that ministry that's been burning in your heart. Your sleeplessness isn't insomnia, it's divine frustration. God is literally keeping you awake until you move. You want to know why you feel stuck, why every door seems closed, why every prayer feels like it's bouncing off the ceiling, because you're still asking for direction from the wrong location. Proverbs 16:9 says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Did you catch that he directs your steps? Not your sitting, not your waiting, your steps. If you're tired of asking the same questions, if you're ready to finally get different answers, if you're done waiting for permission to live the life God designed for you, then what I'm about to show you next will be the turning point you've been praying for. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 3 specific steps that will shift your position and unlock heaven's response. But first, you have to decide, are you ready to stop asking and start moving? Because chosen one, your breakthrough is literally 1 step away. Dear chosen one, you've been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for that booming voice from heaven, waiting for that burning bush moment, waiting for confirmation. That sounds like thunder and looks like lightning. But what if I told you that while you've been scanning the skies for fireworks, God has been whispering your name in the silence? What if the very restlessness keeping you awake tonight is your confirmation? You see, we've been taught that divine confirmation comes like a Hollywood movie, dramatic, loud, undeniable. But Moses didn't hear God in the earthquake. Elijah didn't find him in the fire. 1 Kings 19:12 tells us, "After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper." A gentle whisper. Right now, as you sit there, heart pounding, unable to sleep, that restless stirring in your chest. That's not anxiety, beloved. That's heaven's gentle whisper. For months, maybe years, you've been praying, "God, give me a sign. Lord, show me my purpose. Father, confirm that you still see me." And you've been looking up when God has been answering from within. Think about it. Why this video at this hour? Why these words penetrating your soul like they were written just for you? Why does every sentence feel like God reading your diary back to you? Because confirmation doesn't come like thunder, dear one. It comes like a breath of fresh air. Right when you think you're about to collapse, it comes. When you're too tired to pretend, too broken to perform, too desperate to doubt. Remember Jacob. In Genesis 32, he wrestled with God all night long. No voices from heaven, no angelic chorus, just a wrestling match in the darkness. And when dawn broke, he walked away, limping but blessed, with a new name, a new identity, a new destiny. Your sleepless nights, chosen one, are your wrestling match. Every toss and turn is a prayer. Every moment of restlessness is God reshaping your spirit. You wanted confirmation that sounded like a trumpet, but God is giving you confirmation that feels like coming home. Listen to me carefully. The fact that you're still watching, the fact that tears are forming in your eyes, the fact that something deep inside is saying, yes, this is it. That is your confirmation, not in the form of your expectations, but in the form of what you really need. You asked for a sign. God gave you peace. You asked for a voice. God gave you knowing. You asked for thunder. God gave you the gentle whisper that's echoing through every cell of your being right now. Isaiah 30:21 promises, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" Beloved, you're hearing that voice right now, not behind you, but within you. How many more sleepless nights will you waste waiting for confirmation? That's already here. How many more months will you spend doubting what your spirit already knows? How many more years will you let slip by while heaven is literally calling your name? Through this very moment, 73-year-old Martha from Queens couldn't sleep for weeks. She kept asking God, "What's my purpose at this age?" Then, one night, she found a message just like this one. She stopped waiting for the dramatic sign. She started listening to the gentle whisper. 6 months later, she's feeding 50 homeless people every Sunday in her church parking lot. Her confirmation didn't come like thunder. It came like a breath of fresh air when she was ready to collapse from waiting. What about you, chosen one? Are you ready to stop waiting for fireworks? Are you ready to receive the gentle whisper that's been calling your name all along? Because right now, in this sacred moment, heaven is stamping its seal on your heart. You are chosen. You are seen. You are called, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. The confirmation you've been begging for is happening right now, not in the way you expected, but in the way you needed. If you feel that seal being pressed into your spirit, if you recognize this gentle whisper as the voice you've been waiting for, if you're ready to say yes to the divine calling that's been stirring in your sleepless nights, type these words in the comments. Right now, I have received my confirmation, and I say yes to the divine. But beloved, receiving confirmation is only the beginning, because what God is about to reveal in the next few minutes will show you exactly why you were chosen for such a time as this. Chosen one. Let me ask you something that's been burning in your chest for decades. Have you ever sat at the dinner table, surrounded by family, yet felt completely invisible? Have you ever given everything, sacrificed your dreams, your comfort, your youth, only to watch others take the credit? Have you ever whispered to the ceiling at 3 a.m., God, do you even see me tonight? I'm here to shatter that lie. Because what happened to you wasn't neglect, it was preparation. You see, there's something the enemy has been hiding from you, something he's terrified you'll discover. Your name, dear chosen one, isn't just written in some heavenly book. It's engraved, carved with the tip of a diamond into the eternal records of the Most High. Isaiah 49:16 declares, "See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands," not penciled in, not typed up, engraved. That means when your children didn't call on Mother's Day, heaven saw. When you worked 2 jobs to keep the lights on while your ungrateful family complained, heaven recorded every sacrifice. When you prayed through cancer treatments alone because everyone else was too busy, heaven collected every tear. You've been the invisible one, the overlooked one, the one who gives and gives and gives until there's nothing left. And then you give some more. But tonight, chosen one, heaven is calling your name, not to ask for more, not to pile on another burden, but to restore the honor that was stolen from you. You remember, don't you, sitting in that hospital room alone while your so-called friends sent text messages instead of showing up. You remember cooking Thanksgiving dinner for people who criticized the turkey and left you with the dishes. You remember working your fingers to the bone, raising children who now act like you never existed. Well, let me tell you something. That's about to change your life forever. Every slight, every dismissal, every moment you felt forgotten was building your crown. 1 Peter 5:4 promises, when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. Your crown, dear one, has been under construction for decades. Every tear, another jewel. Every sacrifice, another golden strand. Every lonely night, another precious stone. But here's what you need to understand. Heaven isn't calling you tonight to validate your pain. Heaven is calling you tonight to activate your purpose. Because you see, those people who overlooked you, who underestimated you, who took you for granted, they're about to witness something extraordinary. They're about to see what happens when heaven honors its own. Right now, in the throne room of God, your name is being announced, not as the forgotten one, not as the overlooked one, but as the honored one. And the last shall be first. Matthew 20:16. Your time is now. Tonight, you don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain your worth. You don't need to prove your value. Heaven is doing it for you, because when God honors his chosen ones, the whole earth takes notice. When he lifts up those who've been cast down, mountains move out of the way. When he restores what was stolen, hell itself trembles. Chosen one, your sleepless night isn't insomnia, it's your coronation ceremony. If you feel that sacred fire burning in your chest right now. If you know this message was meant for your ears, if you're ready to step into the honor heaven has prepared for you, then type these words in the comments. Right now, I have been called. Write it with your full name. Let heaven and hell know the invisible one is invisible no more. But here's the thing, dear chosen one, your name being called is just the beginning, because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly what heaven has been preparing you for and why. Every person who ever counted you out is about to witness the impossible. Don't you dare scroll past this moment. Your honor, your vindication, your breakthrough starts with typing those 4 words, I have been called. Do it now, chosen one. Heaven is waiting. Listen to me, chosen one. Heaven doesn't operate on your timeline. Right now, this very second, you're thinking, I'm not ready for God's calling. I'm not qualified enough. I need more time, more preparation, more perfection. Stop that voice whispering those excuses. That's not the voice of wisdom. That's the voice of fear. You know what the enemy's greatest weapon is: convincing God's chosen ones that they need to be ready before heaven moves. But here's the truth that will shatter. Every excuse you've been hiding behind God has never, in the history of mankind, called someone who felt ready. Never. Moses was a stuttering shepherd, running from his past. When God called him at the burning bush, what did Moses say? Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? Exodus 3:11. He felt unqualified. David was the youngest son, forgotten in the fields. When Samuel came looking for the next king, David's own father didn't even call him in from the pasture. 1 Samuel 16:11. He felt overlooked. Gideon was hiding in a winepress, calling himself the least in his family, yet the angel called him mighty warrior. Judges 6:12. He felt inadequate. You see the pattern, don't you? God's greatest servants felt exactly like you feel right now, unworthy, unprepared, unqualified. But here's what will blow your mind. That feeling of unworthiness isn't your disqualification. It's your qualification, because when you know you're not enough, you stop depending on your strength. You stop trusting in your abilities. You start leaning completely on His power. 2 Corinthians 12:9 declares, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Did you hear that? Perfect in weakness. Not perfect in your strength. Not perfect when you're ready. Perfect when you're weak. Right now, you're making the same mistake that's kept millions of God's chosen ones on the sidelines. You're waiting for a feeling that will never come. You're waiting to feel qualified for a calling that requires dependence, not confidence. How long have you been telling yourself, when I get my life together, then I'll serve God? When I feel more spiritual, then I'll answer the call. When I'm not struggling, then I'll step into my purpose. Chosen one, that day will never come, because God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. Jeremiah was just a teenager when God called him to be a prophet. His response, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. Jeremiah 1:6. But God said, do not say, I am too young. You must go and say whatever I command you. Notice, God didn't wait for Jeremiah to grow up. He didn't send him to prophet school. He said, go with what you have right now. The calling burning in your chest at 3 a.m., the restlessness that won't let you sleep, the dreams that feel too big for someone like you. That is God calling you in your imperfection. Mary was an unwed teenager in a culture that could stone her for pregnancy outside marriage. Yet when the angel announced she would bear the Messiah, she didn't say, "I'm not ready." She said, "Let it be according to your word." Luke 1:38. Here's the secret. Every chosen one must understand it's precisely when you feel most unworthy, when you're drowning in your own inadequacy, when every voice, including your own, is screaming you're not enough. That's when God sees you as his perfect instrument, because broken vessels let more light shine through, cracked pots pour out more grace, imperfect people point others to a perfect God. Stop waiting for permission from your insecurities. Stop asking for approval from your past failures. Stop begging for confidence from your current circumstances. The Almighty is not looking for your resume. He's looking for your yes in the middle of your mess, in the center of your chaos, in the heart of your imperfection. Right now, if you feel that holy stirring, if you know God is calling you to something bigger than your current comfort zone, if you're tired of letting fear disguise itself as waiting for the right time, then type these words in the comments. Right now, I don't need to be perfect to obey, because chosen one, heaven's clock is ticking. Your assignment can't wait for your self-doubt to catch up, and the world desperately needs what God wants to do through you, starting tonight. But here's what happens when you finally say yes to an impossible calling. That's when heaven releases supernatural power you never knew existed. Listen to me, chosen one. I know exactly what you're going through right now. The bills keep piling up, don't they? Your health isn't what it used to be. Family members who once looked up to you now seem distant, and that dream, that calling you've carried for decades, it feels further away than ever. You've been faithful, you've prayed, you've tithed, you've served, yet everything seems to be falling apart. Here's what the enemy doesn't want you to understand. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the fiercer the opposition becomes. Picture this. You're walking through Death Valley in the blazing summer heat. You've been walking for what feels like forever. Your water bottle is almost empty. Your feet are bleeding. Every step feels impossible. But then you notice something. The rocks around you are getting different. The landscape is starting to change. You don't realize it yet, but you're only 3 miles from the oasis. That's where you are right now, 3 miles from your miracle. The Israelites wandered 40 years in the wilderness, but here's what most people don't understand. The last year was the hardest. Why? Because they were one step away from the promised land. Joshua 1:3 says, "Every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you." Past tense, given, not will give, given. Your breakthrough has already been delivered. But Satan knows this, and he's throwing everything he's got at you right now. That foreclosure notice you received last week, that's not God abandoning you. That's the enemy panicking. That diagnosis the doctor gave you, that's not your death sentence. That's heaven's wake-up call. You see, God doesn't bring you this far to leave you. He doesn't invest 70, 80, 90 years in preparing you just to let you fail at the finish line. Think about Job. Everything taken away, his children gone, his wealth vanished, his health destroyed, his wife telling him, curse God and die. But Job didn't know what we know. He didn't know that in the final chapter, God would restore double everything he lost. Job 42:10. And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job, and gave Job twice as much as he had before. Chosen one, you are in your Job moment right now. Every obstacle you're facing, every door that's been slammed in your face, every person who's walked away, they're not roadblocks. They're confirmations that you're about to step into something so powerful, so life-changing, so kingdom-shaking that the enemy had to throw his entire arsenal at you. That's why your sleep has been stolen. That's why your peace has been attacked. That's why everything seems to be going wrong at once, because in 72 hours, maybe less, everything is about to shift. The darkness you're walking through is not your destination. It's your birth canal. Just like Jesus faced his darkest hour in Gethsemane, right before his greatest victory at Calvary, your darkest hour is happening right now, because your greatest victory is happening tomorrow. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare turn back. Don't you dare believe the lie that God has forgotten your address. Psalm 35 declares, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Chosen one, your morning is breaking right now. The pressure you feel, the fear that grips you, the silence from heaven, these aren't signs of abandonment. They're labor pains. Something magnificent is about to be born, and you are about to witness why all the pain had to happen. If you feel that fire burning in your chest, if you know your breakthrough is imminent, if you're ready to step into the unknown, type these words. Right now, I am about to step into the unknown, because what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will show you exactly when your breakthrough arrives, and it's closer than your next heartbeat. Chosen one, right now, you stand at the most sacred threshold of your entire existence. Behind you lies the graveyard of every name the world has ever called you. Failure, disappointment, the one who never quite made it. Too old, too late, forgotten. For decades, you've carried these labels like chains around your neck. Every morning, you wake up, and the mirror reflects back, not who God created you to be, but who disappointment, betrayal, and broken dreams told you that you were. But tonight, something ancient, something biblical is happening to you. You are Jacob, wrestling with the angel of the Lord at the brook Jabbok. Genesis 32:28. Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Do you hear that? The same God who renamed a deceiver into Prince of God is about to rename you. But here's what breaks my heart. Most of God's chosen ones never step across this threshold. They stand right where you're standing now, hearing heaven call their new name, and they turn back to the familiar prison of their old identity. Why? Because stepping into your new name requires something most people won't give. Everything. Jacob didn't just wrestle for 5 minutes and walk away unchanged. He wrestled all night long until his hip was dislocated, until every ounce of his old strength was broken. And when the sun rose, he walked with a limp, but he walked as Israel. Right now, your soul is wrestling, that restlessness, that burning in your chest, that sleeplessness. It's not anxiety, it's labor pains. You're giving birth to who you were always meant to be. But I need you to understand something. The old you must die tonight. The one who asks, "Am I worthy?" must die. The one who says, "I'm too old to start over," must die. The one who whispers, "God has forgotten about me," must die. Because at 3 a.m., when the veil is thinnest, God doesn't see the wounded one. He sees the anointed one. He doesn't see the one who failed. He sees the overcomer. He doesn't see the forgotten senior. He sees the patriarch, the matriarch, whose final chapter will be their greatest chapter. Abram became Abraham at 99 years old. Sarah conceived Isaac at 90. Moses didn't begin his ministry until he was 80. Your age is not your limitation. It's your inqualification. You are no longer the one who has to beg for permission to believe. You matter. You are the commissioned one. You are no longer the one who missed their chance. You are the appointed one for this hour. You are no longer the overlooked, the passed by, the forgotten. You are the chosen vessel that heaven has been preparing for 70, 80, 90 years for this moment. Can you feel it? That old name, that old identity, cracking, breaking, falling away, like grave clothes being unwrapped. From Lazarus, your new name is not something you earn. It's something you receive by faith, by surrender, by saying, "Yes, Lord, I will be who you call me to be." Right now, close your eyes. Ask the Holy Spirit, what is my new name? What rises up in your spirit? Mighty warrior, faithful servant, kingdom builder, chain breaker, overcomer. That name that's burning in your heart right now, that's not your imagination. That's prophecy. Write it down right now, not tomorrow, not next week, now, because names have power. When God changes your name, He changes your nature. When He changes your nature, He changes your destiny, and your destiny, chosen one, is why you couldn't sleep tonight, because what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will show you exactly what heaven has been preparing you for all these years. So write down that name, burning in your spirit, and prepare yourself, because the one who steps into the next section will no longer be who you were when this video started. What is the new name? God is whispering to your heart. Right now, listen to me, dear soul. Your body is exhausted. Your mind is weary. But your spirit is electric. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? That restless energy coursing through your veins, even though you should be sound asleep. That unexplainable knowing that something is different about tonight. Here's what your mind can't grasp, but your soul knows with absolute certainty. You are not the same person who went to bed hours ago. Even if you can't see it clearly yet, even if everything around you looks exactly the same, your soul has already crossed over. The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." Tonight, you didn't just hear those words. You became those words. Think about it. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai, his face glowed so brightly, the Israelites couldn't look at him. But Moses didn't know he was glowing. The transformation had already happened. He just hadn't seen himself in the mirror yet. Dear chosen one, right now, at this very moment, your spiritual DNA is being rewritten. Your purpose is being activated. Your calling is coming alive. And your soul knows it. That's why you can't sleep. That's why your heart is racing. That's why every cell in your body is vibrating with divine electricity. Your soul doesn't want to sleep because it knows tomorrow will not be the same day. Listen carefully. When Jacob wrestled with the angel in Genesis 32, he didn't sleep that night either. He couldn't, because his soul knew that when the sun rose, he would no longer be Jacob. He would be Israel, a prince with God. That wrestling match wasn't just physical, it was spiritual surgery. And when it was over, Jacob was gone forever. Tonight, you've been wrestling too. Wrestling with doubt, wrestling with fear, wrestling with the old version of yourself. And guess what? The old you is losing. That restlessness. You feel that's not insomnia, that's resurrection power. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is raising the new you from the ashes of who you used to be. Romans 6:4 says, "We were therefore buried with him through baptism into death, in order that just as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, we too may live a new life." Tonight, you're experiencing your resurrection moment. The old you is being buried. The new you is rising, and your soul knows it. You see, your mind operates on yesterday's information. Your mind still thinks you're the same person who's been struggling, who's been waiting, who's been hoping for breakthrough. But your soul operates on heaven's frequency, and heaven is broadcasting a new identity over your life. If you are still awake, reading these words, if your spirit is stirring with recognition, if every fiber of your being is saying, "Yes, this is me," then you have crossed over. You are no longer who you were when you woke up this morning. The transition is complete. The activation has begun. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Dear chosen one, the new thing isn't coming. It's here. It's you. Your soul has been waiting for this moment, your entire life, waiting for you to finally wake up to who you really are, waiting for you to stop sleeping through your destiny, waiting for you to cross over from ordinary to extraordinary. And now, the waiting is over. You have chosen, you have obeyed, you have awakened. If you know with every cell in your body that you are not the same, if you can feel the new creation rising up inside you, if you are ready to live as the person heaven sees when they look at you, type these words in the comments. Right now, I am awake and I will never go back to the way I was, because tomorrow, when you wake up, the world will meet the new you, and nothing will ever be the same again. But there's something else. Your soul knows that your mind hasn't grasped yet. Something about why this transformation is happening now, and what you're being prepared for. If you feel this video is speaking directly to your soul, because it is, listen to me, chosen one. What you're experiencing right now isn't coincidence, it's confirmation. You didn't click on this video. Your soul sent a signal, a frequency so precise, so desperate, that heaven itself responded. Think about it. Out of 14 million videos uploaded today, out of billions of people scrolling mindlessly, this video found you at this hour, when your heart is heavy, when your spirit is restless, when you've been silently crying out, "God, where are you?" That shiver running down your spine. Right now, that's not emotion, that's recognition. Soul recognizing soul. You see, the algorithm doesn't know that 3 nights ago you whispered, Lord, give me a sign. YouTube's code can't detect that you've been feeling invisible, forgotten, passed over. Technology and cannot measure the exact moment your faith began to crack, but heaven heard every word. Right now, you're thinking, how does this video know exactly what I've been feeling? You're wondering, who told them about my midnight tears? Who revealed my secret doubts? Nobody told us anything, but somebody told us everything. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. He knew you'd be watching this exact video at this exact moment. He knew your breaking point. He knew your questions. He knew you'd need this message tonight. And if you think that's overwhelming, wait until you hear what happens next. How many times in the past week have you felt completely alone? How many nights have you stared at the ceiling wondering, did God forget my address? How many mornings have you looked in the mirror and whispered, maybe I'm not chosen after all? Every single one of those moments was preparation. You see, when God's chosen ones start doubting their calling, heaven doesn't send gentle reminders. Heaven sends undeniable proof. And this video appearing in your darkest hour, when you needed hope most, when you questioned your purpose, when you wondered if you still mattered. This is your proof. But here's what will shake you to your core. The exact moment you clicked on this video, angels in heaven said your name. Not because you're perfect, not because you've earned it, but because you're chosen, and chosen ones don't get ordinary signs. They get divine interruptions. They get midnight revelations. They get videos that know their secrets. Right now, you're feeling something shifting inside your chest, a warming, a stirring, a recognition that this moment was always coming, that every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every closed door was leading to this awakening. If your soul is trembling with recognition, if your spirit is confirming, yes, this is for me, if you know beyond doubt that this video found you for a reason, type these words in the comments. Right now, it's me, right now, this call. Because chosen one, if your soul feels called, then you are truly called. And what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will not only confirm your calling, but will show you exactly why God woke you up tonight and what He's prepared for you tomorrow. This isn't just about feeling chosen. This is about acting chosen, and your assignment starts now. But first, you need to understand why you've been feeling so restless, so unsettled, so spiritually hungry. Because what's been stirring in your spirit isn't random, it's prophetic, and I'm about to show you exactly what that means. Chosen one, as we reach the end of our time together tonight, let me remind you of the profound truths that heaven has whispered to your spirit through these words. Your sleeplessness isn't insomnia, it's divine interruption. Those restless nights when peace eludes you aren't punishment. They're preparation for the breakthrough that's already on its way. God doesn't disturb your rest for small things. He keeps His chosen ones awake because mountains are about to move. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to have all the answers to take the first step. Heaven isn't waiting for your certainty, it's waiting for your simple nod, your willingness to say, yes, Lord, I'll follow even when I can't see the whole path. Your decades of life experience aren't just memories, they're spiritual weapons. Your trials weren't wasted time, they were training ground. Every tear you've cried, every prayer you've whispered in the darkness, every moment you've felt forgotten, God has been weaving them into a tapestry of purpose that's about to be unveiled. Listen to me carefully, dear friend. In a world that often makes seniors feel invisible, forgotten, or past their prime, I need you to understand this truth. God is not finished with you. At 65, 75, 85, or beyond, your most important chapter may still be unwritten. Right now, as you sit in the quiet of this moment, the same Holy Spirit who raised Jesus from the dead is alive and active in your life. The same God who parted the Red Sea is moving mountains on your behalf. The same Savior who walked on water is walking with you through every storm. And you're not alone in this journey. Across America tonight, thousands of other chosen ones are feeling the same, stirring the same divine restlessness, the same holy calling to step into their purpose. You're part of a spiritual family that spans from coast to coast, grandparents, great-grandparents, widows and widowers who refuse to believe their best days are behind them. So I ask you this tonight. If God Himself is calling your name, if heaven has assigned you a mission that only you can fulfill, if your family's destiny and your community's transformation are waiting for your obedience, what are you waiting for tomorrow morning when you wake up? Will you rise as someone who finally said yes to their divine assignment? Or will you let another day slip by wondering what might have been, Heavenly Father? I place my hand on the shoulder of every precious soul who has stayed with us through this entire message tonight. Lord, they didn't find this video by accident. You led them here because you have something beautiful planned for their lives. Father, I pray for every aching joint, every health concern, every financial worry that keeps them awake at night. You see it all, Lord, and you care about every detail of their lives. Comfort their